What is up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony, and today I am wearing my Mont Blanc. It's the one I bought for my birthday last week. I think in the video that I did on it, you couldn't see the blue in the bezel. I'm not in the bezel, but it's a gasket that goes with this strap. For some reason, it didn't come out, but you can kind of see it in this shot here. It's a great watch. It's comfortable, and I prefer this strap on it than the bracelet that it came on. So, and speaking of that, I just want to thank everyone for wishing me a happy birthday. I really appreciate that. That was very kind of all of you. And so basically what we're going to be talking about, would you buy a CPO, certified pre-owned Rolex from an AD? So let's roll the intro and we'll talk about it.
You're watching Timepieces with Tony. Talking Timepieces with Tony. Yo, what?
Okay, so there's so many videos. I mean, it's almost like all rehashed stuff, what people post or what they're doing on their channels about the certified pre-owned Rolex. And keep in mind, I know there's a lot of hardcore Rolex fans. I'm one of them. I'm just not a douchebag about it, you know what I mean? Because I love other brands too. And I believe that you should only buy watches you love. Simple as that. And if you don't, cool. But don't hate on the other brands if you don't like them. You know what I mean? It's just everyone to each their own. That's the beautiful thing about this world. You know what I mean? We have choices. Not everybody likes the same thing. We go out to dinner and we all sit there. Not all of us are going to order the same exact thing, right? You know what I mean? Like someone might like a lobster. I might like a steak. You know what I mean? Someone might want pasta, whatever. You're going to sit there and go, why the fuck did you order that pasta? That's disgusting. Why would you do that? You should have had a steak. I don't get it. Oh, and you got lobster? Oh my God. Do you know what those are, like the bugs of the sea? You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Some of these people, obsessed. There's so much more going on in this world than just watches. Granted, it's a watch channel and that's what we love, right? But geez, don't take everything so seriously. So I gotta lighten up a little bit, man. But let's go back to the certified pre-owned Rolex. Are you an idiot for buying one? A lot of people are going to go, yeah, you get just raked through the coals and the whole thing. My little sister's not an idiot by any stretch of the imagination, and she's extremely intelligent, and she knows a whole hell of a lot about watches, more than most YouTubers. You know what I mean? And she's not into doing a YouTube channel herself. If she did, she'd probably have 20 times the subscribers that I do in half the time that I took me to get what I have as far as my subscribers. I've only had this channel for just about a year, because my other watch channel, people that know or who have followed me for long enough know that I lost my other watch channel, and that was the whole other thing. But having said that, started over. Certified pre-owned. All right, so that is something now that there's a lot of controversy about it, and people are just going, oh my God, the prices, and I could buy this, or I could get it online and I can get a cert for $2,000 less, or however much less. The bottom line is, first and foremost, the majority of people that buy watches and Rolex or whatever brand you want to call it aren't like you, and they're not like me. They're not obsessed, and they're not freaking psychotic about it. They want a Rolex and they get a Rolex. Simple as that. The bottom line is there is a place and there's a market for them. Obviously, because Rolex wouldn't have done this if there wasn't. So here's the thing. You go on Chrono 24 and you start looking for one. Let's just use my sister. She got a 14060M two-line sub, right? She paid, I'll just tell you, she paid $11,000 for that watch. Okay, you could go look on Chrono 24, probably see them for around $8,000 or $9,000, right? When you start getting into watches, especially older watches like that, you don't know how they've been handled, how they've been serviced. Were they serviced by an AD, or the Rolex Service Center, or were they serviced by a regular watchmaker? Does it all have genuine parts? I'm going to go back to one of my viewers, Harold, who, if you watched my, not yesterday's Q&A, but the week before, bought a Tudor from an online dealer. He went to get the Tudor serviced and they wouldn't service it because there was something with that watch. So good for him, lucky for him. He goes back to the buyer and he gets his money back, and that's a happy ending, right? And his thing was, I will now stick with ADs because you know what you're getting. You know what I mean? So if you purchased a watch from, say, Chrono 24, or whatever dealer, you know what I mean? You say you even have a dealer like, some of these ones that are more known. They don't know everything about that watch. You know what I mean? They don't how it was serviced, who serviced it. They might know if it's been polished or not, but okay. So it's kind of like a car, right? If you buy a high-end car from a used car lot, that dealer is selling that car. There might be a warranty of some sort on it, but there could be all kinds of shit with that car that's wrong with it. Anyone who's bought a used car would know, right? So in this case, Rolex certified pre-owned. I had a question on my Q&A about this, and my sister answered the question. If the watch has any kind of real serious issues, then the certified pre-owned won't apply. The Rolex won't take those back, and they won't qualify to be a certified pre-owned. She also stated that every watch that she saw that was a certified pre-owned was in immaculate condition. You're not spending the extra $2,000 to get raked over the coals or to just have that brown warranty card. You're buying peace of mind, right? Knowing that if anything is wrong with that watch, you can go to any Rolex service center and say, hey, there's something wrong with my watch, without any doubt that they would take it back and service it, not come back and go, we're not going to service this because who knows what, right? That's what you're paying for. You're paying for peace of mind. Granted, another thing is that the majority of people that wear these watches, they're not all into Pateks and everything else. They want a nice luxury watch. They want a nice Rolex. They'll go into an AD. Well, we don't have the Daytona, but what we do have is the certified pre-owned. If you want to come over here to this section, granted, yes, they are more expensive. And however the sales rep sells that to them is their business. My little sister, again, could tell you more about that because she obviously bought hers. And it wasn't essentially getting raked over the coals with the price, you know what I mean? She just, again, paid a couple of $1,000 more, got the warranty cards, the pouch, and all the stuff that it comes with it, plus a she had the watch appraised with an appraisal, and the appraisal value of that watch, replacement value, she paid $11,000. She gets an appraisal paper with that watch, all the specs, where it was purchased, and appraised at $11,000 as a replacement value. Now she goes and gets insurance, and she insures that watch for $11,000. If something happens to it, she'll get $11,000, right? So there's so much more to it than just saying, well, I refuse to pay those prices. Fair enough. You don't have to pay the prices, and that's a beautiful thing again. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Go to the gray market, buy the watch you want to watch, buy the watch that you want, and hopefully you'll get a perfect watch that's, perfectly fine and nothing's wrong with it. But there are those cases where there is, and especially if you go to my viewer, and this happened with a Tudor, not even a Rolex, So, and also when you see some of these channels, man, they talk about changing the dial or putting the dial, we can do this and put this dial on it. Dude, no. That's not how that watch came off the assembly line, right? You know what I mean? You want that watch to be as authentic as possible. My little sister had some issues because of the 14060M versus the without the M, which is the difference between 2-line sub and a 4-line sub. And so, having said that, it all comes down to, she has a beautiful watch that she loves. It's sort of semi-vintage in a sense. And especially with vintage watches, man, you start getting into buying some of that older stuff, man, you have no idea what those watches have been through the years, how they've been treated, how they were handled. Rolex gets these watches, and they go through those watches. Anything inconsistent or whatever, they service them. The watch is essentially almost like a brand new watch when it comes back as a CPO watch. That's what people want. They want peace of mind, knowing they have something on their wrist that's authentic. And keep in mind too that most of the watches on the CPO program are discontinued Rolex anyway. So talk about, well, the prices are this, you're paying, again, if you went out and you bought a Porsche 911 certified pre-owned from the Porsche dealer, and then you bought, say, even a newer Porsche from a used car lot on the side of the fucking freeway or on the side of the street, you know, cheaper, you don't know, again, what's gone through with that car. So I guess what I'm saying is that, would you buy one? Look, put yourself in this position. Instead of looking online, you're walking through the mall and you happen to see a Bucherer and you say, oh, there's an AD. I'm going to go in there and look at some watches. And then you know you can't get a new Rolex, and they say, hey, but we do have this Datejust and it is certified pre-owned, and they do their thing and whatever. Wouldn't you feel better purchasing that watch knowing that this is certified 100%, everything about this watch is Rolex, and if something were to happen to it, it's, you know, has a warranty, 2-year warranty, and there's no aftermarket parts, there's no shenanigans or shadiness going on with it, and you spend just a little bit more, but you walk out with a little bit more peace of mind. You don't have that thought in your head, what if I buy this watch and I need servicing and go back and they won't take it because there's something wrong with it. I bought a pre-owned 39 millimeter OP, generally don't buy secondhand, but either way, and I'm just there going, man, what if and I just started, and I ended up selling it. I did research on it, didn't have box papers or anything like that. I mean, obviously it was a legit Rolex, but where it was essentially, I tracked down where it was purchased through, the serial number, things like that. And I was kind of like, I don't know, man. I ended up selling it, but it's okay. It's just, but I want the peace of mind. I want to know, all my other Rolex or whatever I have, knowing, no, there's nothing that you can tell me that's going to, if I have to take it in, that there's going to be any issue or any question. What if? No. Got a straight up watch. My little sister also, bought a Milgauss from, actually, I don't know where she got it from, but she has a Milgauss. And she essentially took it to a watchmaker in her area to have it sized. And the guy at the watch store, wasn't an AD, told her that the Milgauss was fake. And she was like, what? And she's like, well, he said, because it was engraved on the back. Really? The guy fucked up the watch anyway, so she took it to the AD and she just got it back from servicing. Everything's fine with it. So I'm just trying to reiterate, would you buy one? I wouldn't have a problem with it if that's where I was going, if that's what I wanted to do. I don't see the negative side is all the watch fanatics and YouTubers slamming the shit out of it, when in actual fact it's like, the only people that really give a shit about this, oh my god, the prices and whatever, are us smallest percentage of anything in the world when it comes to watches. Because those watches and the CPO program is not for you. You know what I mean? Anyway, this video is getting long, and I hope I made sense, but I just wanted to, and again, I know there's a lot of videos out there on the CPO program, so it's kind of getting old. People, well, another video about the CPO. I can only speak from what my little sister said, and when she purchased one, I have a little bit more of a closer connection to it because my sister bought a CPO Rolex. I wasn't going to do a video on the certified pre-owned when it first started because everyone else was doing them, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy jumping on the bandwagon. But because some people have asked me some questions, I get a viewer that I did this, about Breitling versus Rolex or whatever, and someone's like, yeah, well, my Breitling keeps better time than my Rolex. Man, it's awesome, dude. It's fucking great. I'm happy for you. Wear it in good health. Wear your watches in good health. Doesn't matter what you have, whether it's a Rolex or a Timex. You know what I mean? I have a Rolex and a Timex, so my Timex is right here. I wear my Timex every day. But to bed, I wear it at night. You loom that up and wake up at 3 a.m. to, use the restroom or something. And it's, it's another thing too. People don't understand that lume is not meant to be that bright for that period of time. It's meant to last all the way through, through the night, so you can at least see. So if it's even is very dim, you can still see what time it is. You know what I mean? Some lume's better than others, obviously. But anyway, having said that, I think that's all I needed to say. As always, I appreciate it. You can also follow me on Instagram. I don't ever promote my Instagram page. Same handle, Talking Timepieces with Tony. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Peace out.